Hi. In this episode, I thought I would try to use FreeCAD to build building polygons to use in QGIS. I will be using the latest QGIS version. I've created a fresh profile, so this is the basic startup. So let me just do some housekeeping and move things around so it suits me a bit better. I will use OpenStreetMap as a reference. And the first step is to find a suitable building. And I will pick not the easiest building, perhaps, but something a bit visual at least. So this is a church in my town, in the center of town. And I will not model it completely, but I will use it as a reference for this. So first I need to set a projected coordinate system. So I will use a national system. Like that. And to start with, I need some references. So first of all, I will need a reference point to anchor my model to, and I will need some measurements to start modeling. So I will do this with scratch layers, see if that works. So a point layer in the same reference system, and I don't need any attributes. And another one, probably should name this polygon. That's just fine. Polygon, same measure, same coordinate system, no attributes needed. And let's rename that one to anchor. And let's place a point. I will pick just this building corner here. It should be a point that is easy to reference both in QGIS and in FreeCAD. So this corner, it will be my 0.0 coordinates in FreeCAD. And I can say that, stop editing, and then I will just make a simple outline of this so I can get some measurements. And for that, I want to activate, let's see, view toolbars. Where are toolbars? Toolbars, advanced digitizing, ship, like that. Activate the advanced digitizing tools, like that. And I want to snap to 45 and 90 degrees at least. And then I should just make digitize with segments. So let's start do this. And I'll fast forward so you don't have to sit through everything. But just take your time, and depending on how accurate you need to be, you can zoom in and out and be careful with the snapping to angles. When the line extends like this, it has snapped to one of the set angles. That's close enough. Now I need to measure some measurements, and I will not measure that manually. I will use a style for that. And I know there is a style in the style hub. So let's see, style manager, and go to browse online styles. And I know this because I've made it. Measure measure line, and you can line is line and polygons are measured polygons. So for this I think I will use the polygons. Polygons with measurements. There we go. Select. Yep. Measure in meters. Import. Close. And let's style that. Pressing F7. Dropping that there. Making it a bit bigger. And measure meters like that. That gives me all the measurements I will need. Okay. Let me start. FreeCAD. FreeCAD has just recently been released as a version 1, and I have made a very simple video about how I set it up to look like this. So, and there are a lot of other videos using FreeCAD, so this will just be a simple video. I will create a parametric part. I will start with a sketch on the X and Y plane. And here's my origin point. So let me try something here. I will put the 0.0 point here and switch to building European. No, I'll use meters. Like that. And I will use a polyline. So start, or maybe I can do it like this. QGIS doesn't like that. Now it's okay. So and top view, start there, moving in this direction. Can I enter a number here? Nope, could not. $14.5 meters. This is stupid. Has to be a simpler way. If I just use a line, now I can do it. So 14,500. And it should be horizontal. Is it horizontal? Yep. And then 6.2, 6 to 100. And next one, 12.8. Okay. Since I have used references for everything, it's fully constrained. So in theory, I could just close this and pad it to, I don't know, 7 meters. It's reasonable. So now I have a very, very, very simple church, and I will select the body and export it to my home folder, and let's call this church, and I will use this format, GLTF. That's fine. You can probably use some other formats as well. And in QGIS, I will switch back to the hide that layer and go to this one, create a 3D symbol as a 3D model, navigate to my home folder and find the latest church, GLTF, select that. And I need to view it in 3D, so Control-Alt-M. Didn't work. No, I need to restrict the area first. I need to define my extent, view extent. So in the project properties, view settings, set project full extent, map canvas extent, like that. Now Control-Alt-M will give me a map, and I will try and dock that here as well, so I can look at it side by side. And here it is. As you see now, it's anchored at the correct point, but it's not rotated correctly. And that's one hurdle you can tackle in multiple ways. One way is to go into the 3D styling and add an angle here. So if I go to QGIS here and measure the bearing from there to, let's say there, it is 65 degrees from north, but it should be from there, so 65 66. So it should be 24, I think. So if I type in 24, is that correct? Yep, look at that. It worked. That is probably the easiest way to do this. Because now you can keep the orientation for easier modeling in CAD, and you get the correct orientation here, and you don't need to change it. Since there is no way that I know of controlling the object, the file you use for each point. There are no data-defined overrides for this path here. You need one point for each building you model. Maybe in the future we can get data-defined overrides for this value, or even for this value, because then I can put in also the rotation for each point object. So I can store the path to my file as a value in the attribute table, and I can store the rotation as an attribute value. And then I can have one point layer with all my building objects, as long as I anchor it here. So let's just make a small change to the church. So for this, I think try and model something. So select the face I want to continue modeling on. Make a new sketch and copy some external geometries like this line, and yeah, that's enough. And then I will create was it 10.6? That's fine. 10 meters and 10.6. Close that and pad that one like 10 meters. I think that's enough for you to get an idea. So now I will export this again. The same file name. Replace it, yes. Go back to QGIS, nothing has happened. But that's because I need to update everything. And I'm not sure exactly the easiest way to update everything. Probably just selecting the file again. That didn't work. Yeah, there you go. So that's how you can work with CAD, FreeCAD, or any other CAD. I don't like that color, so random color. Never mind. So you can use FreeCAD to model your buildings, and you can get it as complex as you need or want. And simply export it as a 3D object and use that in QGIS. As long as you remember the anchor point and the orientation. That's all you need. As long as you use real measurements, the size of it all will work out just fine. So that is all for this time, and see you next time.